I don't even have a photo. I thought there was going to be a photo, the option this time. I guess maybe I got to go live on my 11 o'clock one, but we'll see. I'm a little late, a few minutes. And adjusting my camera so it doesn't fall over. Let's see. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Hello. I find it funny. One like, but the viewer's not there. Oh, there you are. Hello. You're the first one, and I'm a bit late today. I'm sorry, I had a few things I needed to do. How do I prop this so it doesn't fall over? Just figure that out right now. We wait for other people. Hello. Hi. A concerned citizen. Thank you. How are you doing today? I'm okay. I'm good. I just oh, there we go. And his camera's gone. See, I do have a thing to prop it, but it will be very crooked. And I want to make sure that we're nice in charge, which we are. Hello, Tony. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to have it plugged in. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and that. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So, how's everyone doing today? Thanks for joining me on your weekend. Got a few things I want to cover today, but I'll just wait for a bit more people to show up. What have you guys been up to lately? Yeah, I see. I'm getting familiar with everyone's names now as you guys are writing me privately. So I got a pretty good memory too. So I don't forget faces and soul family. Has been a magic week? How so? Tell me about it. What's made it so magical for you? I'm happy that we're still having fun. It's actually quite beautiful weather here. And I'm going to probably give you another tour of the garden so you can see what our fall, starting to be fallish garden looks like. And we have this big country music festival happening in our small town. And it's just, I live in a small country kind of a town, farm town, and it was pretty interesting or different to see just the lineup around the block and like all the traffic coming here, because most everybody comes to Vancouver and the city, and if you ever want to do anything, you have to go out to the city in Vancouver and over the tunnel and all that kind of stuff, but you don't. Here, for some reason, they made it all happen here. And so, yeah. I could hear the music right outside my room till really late at night, and I just had to be careful for all the drunk people. I've never seen so many people walking by my house, and biking and families, and it just really brought a bunch of people together. It was like $65 a ticket, so I didn't really want to go. It's not my thing. I don't know. I'm not really an event kind of a girl with a bunch of people. I might go for like curiosity, but I've not really been to any musical concerts before except Jewel and Natasha Bedingfield. That's the only concerts I've been to, and they're very small and intimate concerts, so I know that's kind of funny. I don't know if it comes up, but I just can't imagine going to like a big one, like a rock one, or like Queen, for example, those really massive shows. That, as you do know, I do love music as well, and it's interesting the psychic collective when people all get together. But I mean, it was weird too because they made my town into like a cash grab. Like for the first time ever, you had to pay for parking, and so I was like, that's odd, but because they just don't do that. And so I did just go and check it out a little bit with the dogs. There's a dog park nearby, and let's see. Thank you. Starting to get chilly here. Where are you, daughter Lilith? It's getting a little bit, but I'm still paddleboarding. I ended up getting a wetsuit, so I can, and wet shoes and things like that. Work's going really well. We're about to release one of our games. And I'm proud of myself because I'm stubborn in that when you've gone to many studios as I have, it gets frustrating after a while. I start to think, oh, it's me. I'm not supposed to be doing this kind of work. But at the same time, I'm really stubborn. I want to prove it to myself that I can do it. And that it's, for me, I'm just thinking, well, maybe it's the training, right? Because I've had people say that. And it actually is. Like, a training in a company can make or break you, right? A lot of times they can set you up for failure. They just assume, you know, after a week or two, you know what you're doing, and they let you free to just sink or swim. And oftentimes you're very replaceable, like a cog in the wheel. But in this case, the company really put a lot of energy and training and patience into me, and now I'm able to do really well and impress everybody, which is also surprising me because I didn't think I could ever do good at a job like this. And yeah, I'm coming up with solutions for them and everything, and they really value me. I've been putting in a lot of overtime, which is I was hoping I could do more. Like I was telling you about my taekwondo and kickboxing classes. I've had to shelve that for a bit because work's gotten so busy and we've gotten so behind. Not by our fault, but by our client and our vendor. So I was just thought if I could do a few things that could get us back on track, which looks like it's gonna work, then I can have that time again, because they want me to have it. They want me to take several hours off after lunch if I want to, and work out and stuff like that. Because like when I get very dedicated, I don't take breaks. I don't have lunch. I don't have dinner. I don't go to the washroom. I just get very focused. I don't know why. I just completely forget that I have a body. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then after a while, staring at a screen and thinking about these very left brain things, eventually my brain gets fried and it has a hard time thinking, and then there's a lot of like human error, so now I just have to go through my errors over and over to like correct it. But it's good training for me, and this is the muscle that I really wanted to work at, and I feel like I'm finally getting there with that. So that also makes me excited because I can focus more on my spiritual work again. And I had some friends who looked up my videos recently, and they had no idea I had so many videos, and they were like, you should really look into monetizing your channel because you have all these viewers. And I'm actually growing the channel again. I think I was at like 6,000, and now I'm at like 10,000, which is really neat to, again, reconnect with all of you again. And yeah, so I'm going to look into monetizing as well, and just spend some time in making videos and presentations and all that kind of stuff. So that's some things that are coming down the pipe. And let me see what you guys are saying here. Eating and breathing love, you know, the usual thing. Weather here in Gloucestershire, England is getting a little more darker nights. Yes, I hate that. I mean, I don't mind that, but I just, I wish the sun would be always at like, not set until 10, like it was in, when was it, mid-August or something? I don't know when it was the longest day, and then it just starts to go less and less, and it goes less and less so quickly. But you get to see the stars, and I've been doing some e-SETI projects, and also I do love to paddleboard in the night. Like I told you, I think last time, about the bioluminescence and the basically like Tinkerbells or fairies in the water, and that's what it seems like anyway. So the night's very beautiful as well too. And when I went to the park at night, and I with the dogs, and I tried to do an e-SETI exercise, and then I got distracted with my phone. And I was like, okay, I guess they're not coming out tonight. I guess I'm too close to town for them to come, because I need more of like a nature rural area. And I came home and I saw a picture on Facebook, our town chat, group chat kind of a thing, or yeah, group, Facebook group of our town, and someone took a picture of the sky and said, what the heck is this? And it was right at the same time that I was calling them. So they let me know that they were there, but I didn't see it because I guess I didn't think they would be in that particular area. So that's really cool. I saved a picture of that, and it's particularly message. Okay, I see you retracted it. Thank you. Yeah, I have a couple things I want to share today with you guys. Oh, you got to see Hamilton live? Oh, I would love to see him do Broadway theater, so I'm a big like fan of stuff like that, and particularly Hamilton. I'm obsessed with Hamilton, particularly during the lockdowns. I've memorized the whole musical from beginning to end, every single song. Particularly love that it's super fast because I've always been able to talk really fast. It's something within our family that we can talk very fast, and so connecting with people where English is a second language, they're always like, you're so fast, please slow down. And then, you know, that's my fault there. I just assume people can understand right away. So anyway, I think I get that from my dad. My dad used to do like auctioneering and stuff like that, and auctioneering songs, and so we challenge each other to see if we could you know, do it the quickest, basically. So, or like tongue twisters and stuff like that. So the Hamilton has been like something I tortured my brother with as well in the car. He's like, I can just imagine the kind of Uber driver you'd be. To be like, okay, I'm gonna sing every single song, Hamilton song, or whatever comes up on my Spotify, and you're gonna have to listen to it for the whole time, and then also probably some gas too. So my brother's like, I can just imagine the guys trying to leave. You're like, oh sir, wait, you forgot your free complimentary fart. So yeah, this is my brother and how he loves to tease me. He just makes me laugh so much because it's kind of true. But yeah. And my shot I really loved as well within Hamilton. Unfortunately, they used it for the vaccine, but I just think it's a great song for rebellion and revolution and freedom and fighting for freedom and truth and stuff like that. But of course, they invert everything, right? Oh, and I love mimicking the singers as well, like Eliza, Elizabeth Sue, and Philippa Sue, and yeah. I could go on and on about Hamilton. And then also another really fast song is The Countries of the World, which I think I've shown you guys a little bit of, but you know what? I forgot the tissues for my nose. I don't know why it's running right now, but oh heck, I will do the countries. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden, Iceland and Finland, and Germany now in peace, Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Lithuania, Latvia, Italy, Turkey and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran, there, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, the Netherlands, Moldova, Georgia, Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain. Should I do more? See if I can still remember it. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Asia, China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Zealand. Oh shit! Wait, I do know it! It's not easy to pronounce everything that fast. Tunisia, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, the Mozambique, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana, Burundi, Lesotho, the Malawi, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone, Niger, Nigeria, Chad, Liberia, Egypt, Gabina, and Gabon. Okay, I have to work on it. I haven't done it for a while, but yeah. But yeah, I'm not really a singer. I can't really sing, but I love to sing. It's always been a great therapy of mine, and it is kind of fun to torture my brothers with it and family. Because it's just also a nice therapy and good to have as emotional vomit and just to play around with your voice. I don't know what you're saying there, Tony. Um, I'm doing fine. Thanks. I mean, I kick ass. Oh, thank you. Ooh, we made rice. Mom and I made borscht because it's a Polish and Ukrainian dish, and I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's so freaking good, particularly the way my mother makes it, this old school recipe. Um, and yeah, uh, beets, cabbage, um, carrots, stuff like that. Amazing. And I always use beets as a natural makeup, so I always stick it on my cheeks, and then I kiss the beet, and then nice natural lip color as well. And yeah, does it make your eyes water or have an eye allergy like last time? We've also been making a kohlrabi salad because we've been growing so many kohlrabis. Thank you. Now you see or now you don't. Oh, I don't know. Maybe was I gone for a second? I don't know what you're saying, Tony. Oh, I'm glad to make you laugh. Okay. Someone watched Animaniacs. I loved Animaniacs. I was a cartoon nerd, but why do you think I do the work that I do? I've always loved animated shows and just wanted to live in that world. And so yeah, and I've been there's a video recently that I've been watching compilations of just how much, the cabal, of course, was conditioning and programming us. Of course, the bad guys always want to rule the world, right? And then there's this one video that shows how many old school cartoons, pretty much that I've watched all of them, Saturday morning cartoons of Attack on the Towers, with the plane and everything, or it's pretty wild. I'm trying to think. So the Iron Man cartoon, The Tick. Remember the animated show, The Tick? Johnny Bravo. That one's a bit newer. Because I was born in 82, right? So, yeah, I like to kind of see how many people can challenge them to remember old school cartoons, particularly the obscure ones. So, do you guys remember the Hanna-Barbera's The Pirates of Dark Water? That one's pretty neat and just so creative and colorful and different and interesting, and it was just so fun then. Or Teddy Ruxpin, we have to find the hard to find city, and then what is that? Seek out the understander of treasure and legend. It's just like horrible names. And then, I don't know, with 80s cartoons, it's just, if you pick up an object, it's always like some weird noise that had nothing to do, like their folio artist was just like, I don't know, maybe everyone was heavily on stuff during that time of making shows, but it was interesting content to show forth, let's put it that way. And sometimes I still watch old school cartoons, I have to say. Let's see. Finland. Oh, wow. I'd love to go to Finland. I have a good friend from Finland, actually. I was one of my friends as a kid. I didn't really have any friends my own age growing up until about 15, 16. And she happened to be a foreign exchange student from Finland. And her name was also Jessica. And she was also blonde. And she taught me a little bit of Finnish, but it's not the good Finnish, and I don't know if I can say it properly, so I don't know if I'm gonna... okay, I'll say the one thing I know how to say in Finnish, that's... Vittu monjalle ungulma likisit itsesi. Is that it? You tell me if I said it right. So... You're good at the recall. Well, kind of. I got nervous in front of all of you and tripped over. I'm usually a lot better at it and also memorizing it, but I was also trying to go faster and faster so to see if you guys could keep up or not. Are you gay? No, I'm not gay. Okay, random message there. Your sister does Edgar Allan Poe? I like Edgar Allan Poe too, but I haven't memorized his stuff. Do I dance? So singing, for example, I don't really have the ear to sing. I more listen to the artists and I mimic them. I don't, like karaoke is not very good for me. I don't do very good at it because I can't follow along when there isn't lyrics for me to mimic. But I mean, I did work at singing when I was younger and took some singing classes, and my brother has eventually stopped chucking boots at me like a cat on the fence saying, "Shut up, you suck." So I guess that was some progress. Or they're like, one day they said, "Wow, Jess, you're actually sounding good." I was like, "Ha ha, take that, constructive criticism." Right? What are they? X Factor. I suck. I just care. Makes me feel. After and I of people who think they can sing and then find out the most embarrassing way possible that they can't. So yeah, I don't think I can sing. And dancing is kind of the same way. I don't really have much rhythm. The beat's always faster in my head. So I do occasionally do salsa and I do occasionally dance, but it's also like like I sing super fast and not on the beat and the one in my head, and not very many people can keep up with me, but they say it sounds quite amusing, like I don't know, a little bit like Elaine from Seinfeld or an awkward ostrich or something. But it doesn't stop me from dancing because I still enjoy it. I like to move my body, but I just also because I feel like pretty sure that I haven't had a physical body in a long time. Like most people, they've just incarnated after incarnated, but I've been in a spirit guide for quite some time, more so. So it's kind of weird for me to be in a body. I just don't know what to do with it. So I don't know how to move it. I'm amazed. I'm always so like wow by people who can sing and dance. My mom can dance. My sister could really dance. That was something my sister was really known for uh, before she passed. Like she was the kind of person that when she started dancing, people would make a circle for her and watch her and let her do her thing. I did not inherit this. She must have got that from my dad because dad had a lot of rhythm. He could sing and dance, and my mother could cannot sing, but can dance. So I got some ungraceful genes somewhere. I'm not graceful at all. I'm just super awkward. Um, I like beetroot salads with mayo or salad cream. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that before. I'll have to try that. Now this person who asked me am I gay, now they're asking me if I'm still here. My connection for a bit. I hope everyone's still here. No, it's frozen. Okay, good. Are you still here? Oh no. Okay. I have really bad internet lately. Let's see. Okay. You're also born in 82. Woohoo! Okay, are you guys still here? Sorry, I lost my connection. Mighty Max. Oh yeah, I remember Mighty Max. Are you guys still with me? I don't know, like it kind of crapped out the internet for a second, so I just want to make sure. Like it's saying it's still going, but you're still here. Still animation, Jessica. I stick man animated, being animated by you, huh? Okay, no, but I don't actually work in animation as far as like making, I'm not the artist, I'm the coordinator. I manage the artist because I really wanted to work with artists as like the Little Mermaid. I'm like, how can I be part of that world? I would, you know, watching the behind the scenes all the time on how they did things. So, the Dark Crystal. Oh, but that's amazing. That's Brian Froud art, who also did The Labyrinth, where David Bowie wears pants so tight you can tell what religion he is. But no, he sparked a lot of amazing characters and creatures that very much go with the 80s animated show style. Anyway, I'm going to ignore this person. I do have something specific I'm going to share with you guys. Yes. Okay. I played guitar in accommodation when I was younger. Steam is still good here. Still here. Okay, cool. You're still here. All right. Yes. Sorry, guys. I do have something in specific I do want to share with you guys today. I just kind of got carried off on a bunch of other things, and my work computer decided to restart. So I wanted to talk about the state of the world. And basically the cabal exposing themselves more and more, and a lot more people waking up as well, and just how desperate they're getting and trying all these things, and it's just people getting savvy to this and being like, no, I'm not gonna comply to this. You know, this is ridiculous, and it's gonna get more and more ridiculous until people see it, right? And we're just going to try to guide people through this as best we can as it, you know, gets more and more bizarre, and unfortunately more people decide to check out. I don't want this. I want to try to prevent this as much as possible. I think it doesn't have to be that way, but we're making our choice right now about what kind of future we want to have, despite the cabal's attempt to give us this manifest a dystopian future reality of all these shows that have been around for quite some time, and Orwellian roots. It's not going to happen, and but they're just wanting to prolong their life.
Window. Select disk grid has keyboard focus.
What the heck? I'm work computer. Maybe I have my phone on a. That was really weird. I didn't know my computer could do that. It just started talking suddenly. What the heck? Anyway, so what was I saying? Hello. It's a new person, Lewis. Okay. So yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, all they can do is just try to hold us in fear and hold us in 3D, while 3D is going to be no more. When we transition to the 4th and the 5th, but they just want to, while they're basically on their deathbed, they're trying to pull and hold as many of us back as possible. It's like that Simpson episode, that Halloween one, where it's like, just don't look, just don't look, just don't give them your attention, kind of a thing. But again, I've talked about that before, and I do think we do need to give them our attention, in which, like, no, we're not going to comply to you. We don't, just, this is bullshit. You know, we're not playing this game anymore. We know who you are. And when people are awakened collectively, you don't go back to sleep. You can't be deceived anymore. You can't be gaslit anymore. You see it, for what it actually is. So yeah, let me also at some point want to talk to you guys about healing and stuff like that, and our own individual healing journeys, because there's so many different healing modalities out there. Okay. Just a sec. I was going to share something, but this person, a fellow Jessica, can you talk about dream time and what that space means to those who are aware of what that entails? Yes. So I've talked about dream time before, but dream time is a couple things. It can be as a distraction movie for your personality or conscious mind to watch while your guides are working on other things. I associate it sometimes to, like, they treat your conscious mind as a child, and they're the adults, and they're kind of deciding certain things about your incarnation and what things you need to work on, and with the higher self, basically. It can also be a training ground if it's a nightmare of something that the collective is dealing with and struggling with in the 4th dimension, and or even you individually. A lot of times there are also future messages sent back to us at that time to deal with. So particularly nightmares. The worst thing we can do, particularly collectively, is run in and fight, because no matter what, you can never run away from it. You have a reoccurring dream of it. You fight, you can't kill it, and yeah, or wake up too, because that doesn't help. It just basically brings that into waking life, and now we have a collective living nightmare, which is what we're experiencing right now. Dreams are also a way for us to connect psychically, telepathically. It's like the internet. And a lot of people know me from my dreams, and not just like, oh no, it stopped again. Let's see. Okay, are you guys still here? Sorry, the connection is so bad. Fighting is a noble art form, methinks. Nature does not do mercy, only law. I'm talking about fighting in the dream, fighting a phantom. You can't fight a phantom. They always seem to become bigger and stronger when you fight them. It's like you're feeding them. The only thing really that you can do in a nightmare that actually seems to work is realize that you are dreaming and that this creature is not real, or monster, or whatever, it's not real, and they have no power over you. Like the ending of the movie, The Labyrinth. So that's what I always recommend. That's what I realized when I was quite young, and it prevents it from reoccurring, having that nightmare. You won't have it anymore, and it will also help the collective in the future, and even the present. So that, and then also the best way to describe the dream realm is the movie the blue people, blue cat people, because that is really the case. When you are your conscious mind, your character, your avatar, or when Jessica is sleeping, when their avatar characters are sleeping, then they're discussing about their mission and, you know, their avatar's life and world and what they've learned, and are basically sharing that with other souls involved that are collecting data. Now some are infiltrators, right? Some are there for their best intentions, and some are, and that's also being worked out in the fourth dimension with our star family. But it's very, very accurate, basically. So you want to know what's going on, just look at that movie and see the truth in it. Yeah, they have no power over you. Have no power over me, right? And that's the line that in The Labyrinth she can never remember, the Jennifer Connelly character. And but it's also the same thing though in what is it? The Wizard of Oz, right? Where there's no place like home, kind of a thing. Like she has the power to go home all along, right? So it's just realizing that we have that power. We can go, we can change, we can end this game at any time. Something I've also been thinking about lately is the movie The Matrix, and audiences watching this movie in the theater, you're just watching this movie in general at home or whatever, and seeing that, learning that Neo is the one, and how he changes things in the Matrix. And the big joke about this, I'm thinking, is that everyone is the one. And they're just watching someone realize they're the one, not realizing that they are also the one, and that they need to have the same realization. And it's just almost like amusing to the star people that they're like, when are they going to realize it? Or growing up with shows, it's interesting how this live links to what we were talking about, animated shows and old shows that we grew up. We are considered jobs, like, doesn't define you. That's not who you are on a soul level. And just that excitement they have for us to realize. And that was when I realized that as a really young age. I was just so excited for people, and just in love with human potential, and just wanted so badly for them to see what I see in them, you know, that Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om Namah. I see and honor the divine in you, mirror projected, reflected, you know, for me. Because if anybody would say, give me any compliment, I would say, well, I'm a mirror, right? Because we are. That's why psychics need other psychics to read for them, or healers aren't able to always heal themselves. They need others too, and that's because we are like cars, and we have our blind spots, and other people are those mirrors for those blind spots to help us see what we can't see, and help us to learn to see what we can't see or maybe don't want to see, right? So I always found that interesting too. I talk about that quite often, why we're not interested in knowing what our blind spots are, particularly if they can prevent so many unnecessary problems from happening. Okay. Wow, 2012-ish. Cool. Okay. So this is what I want to share with you guys today. I feel it's extremely relevant. I've got so many things open right now. I want to share with you.
So you think you know what?
Quiet. About the blue star Kachina, red Kachina Hopi prophecy. And I've decided I'm going to read it out to you guys today instead of having you watch or listen to a video, and we'll discuss some things because, as I said, it's going to get more and more weird, and it's important for people to know that life is also a deja vu dream that we've had, before, and that we do know the ending. We've just forgot, but it becomes more and more apparent as the days go by and we remember and awaken more, come out of our amnesia veil. My cat's being very chattery today. Let me just... There's a lot of spam comments today. I'm so surprised. Okay. So... see how long it takes for me to go through this. I can get or have been told that I act like in tunnel vision, narrow-mindedness. We all have. We're here to experience that. It's about forgetting to remember. You forget and then you remember again. So it's like cosmic peekaboo and hide and seek with the divine. That's how I look at it, and that's why children love that game, because that's the nature of this incarnation and this game that we're living in. I work in games. We exist in a game. It is. I do definitely feel that it is a VR game. Yeah. So. Let me see if I can do this way. I just don't want the camera to crap out on me again. Let me see. If I do it this way. Bear with me while I figure this out. All right. The story of the blue Kachina and the red Kachina by Chief Dan Evhema. So the thing that's also very interesting about this and why I want to share this is right before after the Project Hamlet interview, I ended up meeting a woman who is known as Blue Star, and she also wrote a book about the Blue Star and the Hopi prophecy. I actually also went out and spent time with the Hopi after my interview with Project Hamlet in Sedona, Arizona, and they told me also about this prophecy and about the star people and the connection, and that they said that when the time came that I would know what to do with this information and the collective would know what to do with this information. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this prophecy, but like I said, it's very relevant for today, and it ties into my work in being able to, I guess, decode it for people. I haven't read to you guys in a while, particularly like with me being on camera at the same time. So, oh wait, I need to have 1 second. I'm okay. I work in technology, yet I stink in technology. Okay, just a sec. Whew. Try not for it to go too fast. Maybe a little slower. Okay. This is a Hopi traditional caretaker. That's where the prophecy has come from. Okay. So, the first blue Kachina would start to be seen at the dances and would make his appearance known to children in the plaza during the night dance. This event would tell us that the end times are very near. Then, the blue star Kachina would physically appear. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Physically appear in our heavens, which would mean that we were in the end times. In the final days, we will look up in our heavens and we will witness the return of the two brothers who helped create the world in the birthing time. So it's interesting that it takes place, they're saying, during a dance. So that life is like a dance as well, where we are in a way dancing with the darkness and trying to understand, okay, we can't defeat them by fighting them physically because they have all the power, all the money, all the control. But that is only as long as we give them that power and control by believing that about them, by forgetting that waking life is also a dream. And we need to be lucid in life, and collectively particularly, so that we can change things just as instantaneously as you realize you're dreaming in a dream and you suddenly start flying, right? And doing all the cool things you'd like to do. Do I believe in the apocalypse? Isn't that the prophecy? So I will keep reading this, but I will answer questions simultaneously, and it would take me a bit longer. So first you have to understand what apocalypse means. I've mentioned this before. Apocalypse and Revelations, all come, what they actually mean is come to light of what's been hidden. So that's what we're living in right now. Everything is being revealed. The darkness cannot hide anymore. That's why it's looking more and more ridiculous as they're throwing everything they have at us to try to hold us captive in third dimension. They have to let us go. They know that. They will be removed from the planet. So they know they're running out of time. I've mentioned before they've lost. They know they've lost, but they know the people don't know they've lost, so they're trying to milk it for all it's worth, right? Take as many casualties as they can and hold on to their power for as long as they can until the end, right? Till everybody sees it as just undeniable and everybody's woken up. So that's what I believe the apocalypse in Revelations actually is. So we got to understand the origin of the word. The end of an old world, the end of an old way of living, doing, and being. Yeah, they're panicking. Exactly. They're panicking and they're desperate and they're crazy. And the more that it's like chess, to my understanding, what the Star family and, for lack of a better term, white hats are doing. They are basically checkmating them, backing them into a corner, letting them use all their moves, exhausting all their moves to the point that there's nothing they can do, right? So that's the way also to get them to reveal themselves to the people, so the people snap out of the spell that they're under. But I just thought that it's so beautiful and poetic that the Hopis refer to this, what we're experiencing, this insanity, is a dance. Yes, so going back to, let me just see, the dance has been connected to entities, the dead or spirit world rule the world. Again, backwards world, right? Live spelled backwards is evil, and live spelled backwards is devil. So what evil and the devil really is to live your whole life anti-life. And just this inversion, perversion reality. Hello, my name is Gloria. I have... That's very strange. Okay. There's really bizarre comments today. I don't know what it is. The Shamanic traditions, they're psychopaths. Wait. Old shamanic tradition destroying their psychopath's newborn. Tony, I love you, but I can't understand what you're saying. I don't know if it's like English terminology or what. They're in check right now. Yeah, they're absolutely in check. So basically what's happening is they're in check. They move, they're in check again. They move, they do a crazy move again, they're in check again. So, yeah. So they'll be forced to move the king, which will put them in checkmate. Yes, exactly, Robert. Okay, these comments are, yeah, weird. Okay, back to reading. So, who helped create the world in a birthing time? Puyang Ha is the guardian of the North Pole, and his brother Palanga Hoya is the guardian of the South Pole. In the final days, the blue star Kachina will come to be with his nephews, and they will return the Earth to its natural rotation. So this is also very interesting. What they're referring to here is the pole shift. So we've heard that the Earth has been purposely moved the poles to make this mass amnesia and be able to control the people, and that the Earth was purposely changed in rotation also for that reason, so they could continue to control us in this way. That the moon also is a fake moon, which I mentioned before. That's an artificial satellite. It was brought here. And interesting how the moon is considered our mother or feminine energy, and there's so many fairy tale stories about the evil stepmother. That is never the actual mother of the princess in disguise, it's the stepmother, which is like this artificial satellite stepmother, right? That continues to repress and deny us of our birthright, and makes us think we're nothing but a slave to this power, this ego, this insecurity, and gaslit constantly. So, and it can be seen as scary when you hear about the pole shifts, and to my understanding that all the coast in the world will be flooded up to 150 kilometers, if I remember correctly. And it'll be very high waves and everything, and then of course new land will show up from that was underwater for quite some time. But, and even just the stuff with Sabrina Wallace that I shared last time is not, it's so easy to be afraid and scared of this stuff, but I'm not, and you shouldn't be either. And I don't, whatever I'm sharing, it's never the intention to scare you. It's to inform you about the problem and what we can do about it, right? Because you can't fight or deal with these crazy dark beings unless you understand them and their strategies and what they're going to do next. And we're very fortunate to constantly get this foreshadowing and these tips about what, understanding their patterns and all of that, so we can help as many people as possible. But I do feel that we will have plenty of warning to know that the poles are about to shift, and it's getting close, guys. We're getting closer to it, which is why it's relevant to share this information. And there's all these talk about comets returning that it's been thousands of years since they've ever, made their appearance. And I do remember when I was traveling, I met a girl in Spain. She was about 4 or 5 years old, and she was drawing pictures of the family with blue skin. And she was saying, people were commenting, "Oh, what a great imagination." And she's like, no, that's us in the future. We'll all have blue skin. Because of the blue star, the second blue sun, basically. And she just kind of went on and on about this. And the Earth also has a blue central sun or star, and their skin inside the planet are light blue. And a lot of ships that we see that are UFOs or whatever, they are actually interterrestrial. They're from inside the planet. And so we might end up having light blue skin as well from this star, so, or sun, or whatever you want to call it, the blue and red Kachinas that it will show up. But so that will give us a couple weeks warning that the poles are about to shift, and it's probably a good idea to get off the coast. I live on the coast. I'm right by it, and I'm not afraid. And I know that I choose to take my physical form to ascend to the fifth dimension. I know that you don't have to die to get there. I think a lot of people have chosen that, and that's also why it's such an exciting time to be alive, because we're going to witness this transition in real time. That's why it feels like everything has been sped up. Like we are living so much in a short amount of time. As a like in my 20s, I remember, oh my gosh, I was like so old. And like I felt like it was 100 because I just lived so much in 1 week, several incarnations. And so that's where it came to me, like every lifetime we've ever lived has prepared us for this lifetime in which we are living, every single one in this one simultaneously. So, and like I said before, with the tsunami in Thailand, no animals died during it. Not one. And the reason that is, probably there might have been some that were caged up at home that they couldn't escape, but most of them were able to escape. And the reason that is because they knew 2 weeks in advance. They felt that in the earth, that this was going to happen. And they moved to higher ground. And people who aren't connected or in touch with the earth, they perished. But I just keep thinking, like, there's no reason that we cannot, like, as we remember more and step into our sovereignty and divinity more and come out of the amnesia veil, that we can do the same thing. We can connect with the earth in that level and know where we should go when the time comes and what's going to happen and so forth. It just makes sense to me. Doesn't it make sense to you? Like interterrestrial, extraterrestrial, like everything's backwards, right? So that's why it's such an, if you want to make sense of the world, stand on your head, is what I say. Okay, back to reading this because I'm taking a while. I didn't know I would prattle so much in the beginning. Small talk before we jumped on to what I wanted to share about the Kachina video. Why are we jumping from third dimension to the fifth and not the fourth? That's a very common question. And the reason that is we actually are not skipping the fourth. We are going through the fourth. The thing is, because we are, we're basically in 1 foot in the third and 1 foot in the fourth. And the fourth is not the most positive area. It's been where a lot of the darkness resides. And they've compromised a lot of it. That's a lot of psychic energy. That's astral. So it will be cleaned up, but we actually are in both right now, third and fourth, and we've been there for quite some time, probably for a bit more than 100 years, and so we fluctuate in and out of it, but it has to be cleaned up, the fourth dimension, but we will transition from the third dimension to the fourth to the fifth. So that's, I hope that explains your question. I'm going to go back to reading this. So the nephews will return to the earth. It will return the earth to its natural rotation, which is counterclockwise. So the clock also keeps us controlled. Because the clock is for me, it's very bossy. It always tells me what I should and should not do, right? Like my favorite movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy. At 9 o'clock, people have to look busy. At noon, people can stop looking busy and eat, or, just, and also just how Einstein said, pay attention to how fast time goes when you have your hand on the stove or doing something you hate. It's painfully slow, so we're forced to do things we hate. And so it slows down time and traps us in time, which we were never meant to be trapped in time. As opposed to how fast time goes when you are with your sweetheart, cuddling on the couch. Time flies. Whenever you're doing things you love, time flies. I do love doing lives, even though I'm always nervous before every live and shy. And then I just start talking and you guys start talking to me, and then I guess I start coming into myself, right? And knowing what I want to say. Because a lot of times I don't know what I want to say. Sometimes I have an idea, but there's a whole bunch of things that surprise me or like intertwine everything together. So, and the time flies. Like I always intend for these lives to be only 45 minutes or 25 minutes, and then they're always like over 2 hours. Or so yeah. And I don't know, maybe people aren't watching after that point because it's too much for them, and they're, I know you're all over the world and it's a little too late or whatever. I hope you come back to listening to them, even though they're crazy long. I can't, I don't like to control or have a time limit either, because I think that takes away from the organic flow of conversation and videos that I do. It's always been that way, even interviews. Like when I interviewed Andrew Bashiago, 5 hours, but I didn't want to give him a time limit because I knew that we'd be missing a whole bunch of gems. So I've always been that way. So if you've got the time, I've got the time, and I promise I won't take your time, but I will complement your time. I'll add to it as best I can, and give you value in that way, and not ask anything in return. Okay, back to reading this. So, Earth to its natural rotation. Will restore Earth to its natural rotation, which is counterclockwise. This fact is evidenced in many petroglyphs that speak of the zodiac and within the Mayan and Egyptian pyramids. The rotation in Earth has been manipulated by not so benevolent star beings. The twins will be seen in a northwestern skies. They will come and visit to see who still remembers the original teachings. Flying in their puruvoks, or flying shields. So they have their own words. And they will bring many of their star family with them in the final days. So see, they're going to be looking for people who remember, who've come out of the amnesia veil. And after the fake alien invasion that the government's working on, or the fake Christ, or whatever they want to do, Christ return, however they're going to film or create the rapture with all their technology, then, we will actually get to meet this team. And these are the end and the final days. I believe we're already meeting with them and connecting with them, but again, where we all get to witness this. There's something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. And my cat's madly tracking a fly. It's really funny. And it's really also about just doing what you love as well. What are you passionate about? That's also really important, because we talked about not being a slave of time, and so you're not a slave of time when you're doing what you love. Even if you think it's not realistic, or there's always a way to get to it, and starting it, right? Little bit at a time, until it is more and more of your life and energy, right? Because the more you're doing things you don't enjoy, the more you're held captive by time and the third dimension, and feeding them. And we must not feed them. Do not feed the fears. So, many of the star family with them in the final days we will connect with. The return of the blue star Kachina, who is also known as Non-Gog, so who will be the alarm clock that tells us of the new day and the new way of life. A new world that is coming. This is where the changes will begin. They will start as fires that burn within us, and we will burn up with desires and conflict if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful way of life. Not far behind the twins will come the purifier, the red star Kachina, who will bring the day of purification. On this day, the earth, her creatures, and all life as we know it will change forever. This is what you're going to experience in this incarnation. There will be messengers that will precede this coming of the purifier. They will leave messages to those on earth who remember the old ways. The messages will be found written in the living stone, through the sacred grains, and even the waters. From the purifier will issue forth a great red light. All things will change in their manner of being. Every living thing will be offered the opportunity to change from the largest to the smallest thing. It reminds me also of Anastasia so much in the Ringing Cedars and what she's talking about, reconnecting with who we actually are and our remembering. That's what the Hopi are looking for, the Kachinas are looking for, is who will remember. Opportunity to change from the largest to the smallest things. Those who return to the ways given to us in the original teachings and live a natural way of life will not be touched by the coming of the purifier. They will survive and build the new world. So that can be seen as scary. It's almost like evolve, awaken, or purify means almost perish or be brought to another dimensional playing ground. And it's really our choice right now of what kind of world or future we want. In this every moment of life, we are choosing what kind of life or future we want. And that's really all that I've been trying to get across, particularly in my social media, is do you want to, keep playing the third dimension games? Are you done and tired of it? Do you want to create the world the way Anastasia says it was meant to be and who we are meant to be, and take our place, take our part, stop playing so small, step back in your power, remember who you are. So all that survive the purifier and build the new world, only in the ancient teachings will the ability to understand the message be found. It is important to understand that these messages will be found upon every living thing, even within our bodies, even within a drop of our blood. All life forms will receive the message from the twins. Those that fly, the plants even, the rabbit, the appearance of the twin beings, a period of 7 years, which will be our final opportunity to change our ways. Everything we experience is all a matter of choice. Many will appear to have lost their souls in these final days. So 7 years we will be in this state, and people who seem to have lost their souls could be people who have, given into or fallen for the agenda, but maybe taken the injection, have allowed themselves to be cyborged, have allowed themselves to be cloned. A lot haven't been allowed that, but they've it's been just basically forced on them. So this is where we're witnessing already people feeling like they're losing their minds, getting desperate with the financial system, all the banks collapsing and closing, and pushing mandates again, and pushing this agenda on people, and we don't need to be afraid, because we need to just know that we will know what to do when the time comes, that this is what we came here for, but these are the things that we're going to witness. So we will know what to do when the time comes. Of choice, many will appear to have lost their souls in those final days. So intense will be the nature of the changes, be that those who are weak in spiritual awareness will go insane. For we are nothing without spirit. They will disappear, for they are just hollow vessels for anything to use. Life will be so bad in the cities that many will choose to leave this plane. Summon groups. Only those who return to the values of the old ways will be able to find peace of mind. So leave the cities and connect with the earth like Anastasia. In the earth we shall find relief from the madness that will be all around us. It'll be very hard time for women with children, for they will be shunned. And many of the children in these times will be unnatural, some being from the stars and some from the past worlds. So these children are not the typical mother and children that you think of. They're talking about the clones. They're talking about the Cabal's children. They're talking about making us unnatural by changing our DNA and making us not human. And people struggling with what they think reality is. So that's why I will feel like they're losing their mind, because that they've been taught their whole life to think life is this one way, but it's actually something completely different. And it's going to be very hard for people. We're already seeing how hard it is to get through to people, who are just completely brainwashed by the agenda. And we almost have to step away, because there's nothing we can say or do to get them to realize it. They have to realize it in their own way. But it sucks, because of course we don't want that to happen. We don't want anything awful to happen to them. But the truth is that we come to this planet alone and we leave alone. In that we can't be attached to anything, because it's everyone's choice, And we have to just let them on their journey and hope that they realize it sooner rather than later, and that we can be there to kind of guide them through the process. Because awakening is very hard. It's extremely hard. It's probably one of the hardest things you'll have to do, and it's a constant process. It's everyday work, healing too yourself, and just constantly trying to remind yourself and not fall back into the illusion, being able to constantly remind yourself to observe. And animals are so great in that way to help, particularly with all the energetic attacks through electronics that are just all around us, even out, you can maybe not have anything in your room, but there's still wires all around outside, and 5G towers not far away that are bombarding us all the time and trying to hold us down in the third dimension. And my cats are all around me, and particularly my orange guy, he's always by my head protecting me from these frequencies, and which are like entities that attack. And they're just so unconditional loving, and so amazing that we have our animal companions, that just care so much and are just looking out for us, and want to support in whatever way they can, which is, I just think is beautiful. So stars, some from the stars of past worlds, some will even be created by man in an unnatural manner, so that's the cloning again, and will be soulless, and that's the altering of the DNA by genetic modification. Many of the people in this time will be empty in spirit. They will have some PACU, no life force in their eyes, as we get close to the time of the arrival of the purifier. There will be those who walk as ghosts through the cities, through the canyons they will have constructed in their man-made mountains. Those that walk through these places will be very heavy in their walk. It will appear almost painful as they take each step, for they will be disconnected from the spirit and the earth. After the arrival of the twins, they will begin to vanish before our eyes like so much smoke. Others will have great deformities, both in the mind and upon their bodies. There will be those who would walk in the body that are not from this reality, for many of the gateways that once protected us will be opened. There will be much confusion between sexes and children and their elders. Sound familiar? Is that kind of what we're living right now? So much confusion between children, elders, and sexes. Is that the agenda being pushed on us right now? No one's been more repressed than the children. You know that? We talk about all these rights for women, for different races and ethnicities, and but not the children. The children never get any rights or consideration for the wisdom that they have. The elders will get very perverted, and there will be little social order in these times. Many will ask for the mountains themselves to fall upon them just to end the misery. Still others will appear as if untouched by what is occurring. The ones who remember the original teachings and have reconnected their heart and spirit, those who remember who their mother and father is, who have left to live in the mountains and forests. When the purifier comes, we will see him first as a small red star, which will come very close and sit in our heavens, watching us to see how well we have remembered the sacred teachings. This purifier will show us many miraculous signs in our heavens. In this way, we will know Creator is not a dream. Even those who do not feel their connection to the Spirit will see the face of Creator across the sky. Things unseen will be felt very strongly, because there's a heck of a lot that we're not seeing. We use such a small percentage of our eyes, such a small percentage of our brain. There are so many realms and beings coexisting with us right in front of our eyes. And I feel that as the veil lifts and we start to see more and more of what's going on and what's behind the scenes and what's been hidden, people are going to see actual fairies, demons, everything, hear it, and that will also make people crazy for a lot of that can't handle that. So, I mean, people who want to see, you have to be prepared to not just see what you want to see, the good stuff, the fairies or, the angels, but also the darkness, also what's really there, what's interacting with us, what's tampering with us, and the worlds that we've greatly affected and impacted by our carelessness, our thoughtlessness, our disconnection with Source. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional reading this because I'm an empath, and I just feel so heavily everything and everyone, and it's my lot in life to do, to transmute for the world. But I just care so much. I feel so much. I'm almost done. I don't know how much battery I have left on my phone either. I have to watch for that. It just also reminds me of when, I think it's in Revelations, that the sky turns to blood, which might sound a lot like the red Kachina, what they're describing here, but just there's so many parallels and consistency with today. Whereas, when this prophecy came, like, I think, how long ago? 50 years or something? Didn't really make sense, but now we're living in that, right? So the face of the Creator across the sky, things unseen will be felt very strongly. Many things will begin to occur that will not make sense, for reality will be shifting back in and out of the dream state. So fourth and fifth, back and forth. Fourth dimension. There will be many doorways to the lower world that will open at this time. Things long forgotten will come back to remind us of our past creations. All living things will want to be present for this day when time ends, and we will enter the forever cycle of the fifth world. We will receive many warnings, allowing us to change our ways from below the earth as well as above. Then one morning, in a moment, we will awaken to the red dawn. The sky will be the color of blood. Many things will then begin to happen that right now we are not sure of their exact nature. For much of reality will not be as it is now. There will be many strange beasts upon the earth in those days, some from the past and some we have never seen. The nature of mankind will appear strange in these times. So beasts that will show up from the past, but what we know of as myth and legend and mainly Greek and sci-fi and fantasy, and some new things that we couldn't even fathom that hasn't reached our field yet. So it'll be like a reunion with these other life forms that were here. It's like a family reunion, basically. And that's also why there are so many people on the planet. And the world is not overpopulated to the point that we don't have enough resources for everyone. We do. That's a big lie. You fly in a plane, there's so much empty space that it's not being cultivated or used to grow food. Most of our food for the whole world is grown in California. So there's a lot of space for everybody, and a lot of souls want to be here at Earth at this time to witness this, to witness what's happening here. That's why they say it's this exciting time to be alive. That's why the other star people are watching with bated breath. Even though they live with the prime directive where they can't interfere, they can't empower us. They can help us remember so we can help ourselves, help them, and help them help ourselves. Have a symbiotic relationship with them, which was meant to be, that they can welcome us into our galactic connection and into our birthright and into this world that we've been the true world, not the counterfeit dystopian nightmare that we've been forced to live in, hijacked reality, and we're hostages. And we've come in, a lot of us, like me and you guys, to infiltrate the matrix, this world, this false world, and free them. Free as many as we can by helping them remember. I'm getting very passionate now, and I don't have tissues for my nose. I don't want my nose to run for you guys, but you've seen me cry a couple times now, it seems, so I guess it's just we see each other in all different ways, right? You see me happy, you see me sad, see me angry, all the emotions of the rainbow. The rainbow emotions. Okay. Strange in these times when we walk between worlds, the fourth and the fifth dimension, and we will house many spirits, even within our bodies, meaning we have many spirits within our bodies, beings looking out of us, experiencing life through us. Some good, some bad, some here on Earth as military spies who can see through our experience through us, hack us like a computer, like I talked about with Sabrina Wallace. But also our soul, or our when you play role-playing games, you can play more than one character, even at a time. Our soul does the same thing. Our higher self has more than one avatar in the game, maybe in different parallels or different story choices. But that's also something to think of too, because I am aware that my soul has other avatars here in other places in the world that I will never connect with. and I would probably never meet, and I don't need to, because we each have very individual, different work and different things that the reason for building and having that character do what they're doing. So, and you guys have the same thing too. So it's not just one avatar you are working with, you're working with many. Between worlds we will house many spirits, even within our bodies. After the time we will again walk with our brothers from the stars, and brothers and sisters from the stars, and rebuild this earth. See, we're here to witness the death of an old earth and birth a new one. Witness and facilitate the death of an old earth and birth a new one. But not until the purifier has left his mark upon the universe. No living thing will go untouched, here or in the heavens. The way through this time, it is said, is to be found in our reuniting with our spiritual self, getting simple and returning to living with and upon the earth, and in harmony with her creatures, remembering that we are the caretakers, the fire keepers of the spirit. Our relatives from the stars are coming home to see how well we have fared on our journey. And that's it. I made it through. I'm going to now quickly go through your comments, and then I'm going to have to head out because I have a friend's birthday thing to attend, which is like an obstacle course in the trees. Okay, let me go back to where I left off last. No planes other than on TV. Oh my gosh, there's so many planes, not just TV. The reset is coming. What kind of reset? There's 2 different resets. Which one do we want? We get to choose. Woke as inversion of awake. Of course, that's why they hijacked the word awake and made it woke. I always have to say I'm awake, not woke. And actually I got banned for that on a site. It's actually a dating site. New Yorkers saw no planes other than paid actor cameras were rocks steady in waiting for this event. Yeah, so there were cameras all around the towers waiting for something to happen before it happened. The reason they didn't see any planes in the sky necessarily flying towards it, but suddenly into it, is because it was a hologram projection, just like they did a demonstration at a school, and I shared this on my social media, of a whale jumping out of the water on a gymnasium floor for the kids, and then underneath it is a visual of the planes flying into the towers, just like a hologram. Hello, I just joined. What's happening? I was reading the Hopi Blue and Red Star Kachina Prophecy. You can watch this video after it's finished if you would, to catch on what you missed. Willingly overlooking knowing evil. Yeah. Woke. That's what it stands for. Willingly overlooking knowing evil. And the world is a messed up place, not because of the evil people, but because of all the good people who look on and ignore and refuse to do anything about the evil when it's brought to their attention. They just can't refuse to accept or face it or deal with it, so it continues on. When I was 5, I told my parents I was from another planet. I do not feel human. Do you think I am a star person? I think, yes, you're saying I am starred. I do not hold the same opinions as you do, but I see many of the same things. That's okay, we're different. We have different backgrounds and perspectives and so forth. But see, that's what I say with that. Why I say that when we are a child, we know exactly who we are and what we came to this planet to do. And then the amnesia veil sets in and we forget. So when you were 5, which is the actual age where the amnesia veil starts to set in around, so I always ask people, do you remember anything of what you used to think or say when you were 5, or what your parents recall? because that's where you knew. And then when I traveled the world, I mainly worked with kids around that age to listen to what they knew before they disconnected from it. Some people, though, have managed to maintain it. It's very rare, but it happens. But yeah, you knew at that time you're from here. No one's from Earth. We all come from atoms. Religion says we come from atoms, very similar, and there's only one place that atoms come from, and that is the stars. So we have the starry memories within us, right? It's in the earth, it's in the water, it's all memory, basically. If I remember correctly, it was tilted to 54 degrees. That's right. So few things have to change. The axis, the rotation, and the poles. I think north is south and south is north, actually. So again, upside down, right? Alice in Wonderland world. The Christ consciousness we all possess. Yep, that's a word to use as well to describe it. I always imagined it would be quiet and subtle, not like white noise lawn stuff. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Motorbikes I'm passionate about, but it nearly killed me. Yeah, well, you can still be passionate about motorbikes without it, killing you. It also, if it gave you a near-death experience, and that gave you a new perspective on life, which brought you more on your journey too. So you're still here, even though, but yeah, there's people get unhealthy passions or destructive passions. Not saying it's like a drug, but it can be, like speed, for example, can be, very dangerous, but also we love that kind of rush and feel. But you're still here, and you're fine, and there's other ways you can connect with motorbikes where it doesn't have to give you that close call. Stone is sacred. Father and son resonate sonic vibration. Yes. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. Jessica, your brain works very fast because of your dyslexia. I hope we will remember who we are. Yeah, my dyslexia is a double-edged sword, and growing up they tried to make me think there's something wrong with me because of it, and I feel like it's such a gift. It's because of that I'm dyslexic that I'm able to understand and see things the way I do and have this perspective. And so I just want other people who are dyslexic to realize that. I literally write, read, think, and talk backwards. So I have to constantly unscramble things, but even so, when I see things backwards and scrambled, I get the messages of the origin of the words or what's really behind those words, because there's a reason spelling is called spell, right? You literally become under a spell when you look at the way we've been taught to spell. So, yeah. I agree, we're constantly choosing what life we want. Yep. The 2 strands and the 10 strands of DNA are the lost tribes of Israel. Well, actually, it's 12-strand double helix DNA, and it could be interpreted as a metaphor of the lost tribes of Israel. Animals are intelligent and humans are clever. Animals have not gone through an amnesia veil. Animals are intuitive and psychic and profound. Intelligence is knowing. Gee, that sounds like now. Exactly, it sounds like now. That's why I was reading it. Yeah, that's what's going on. The children are the fathers or the teachers. It is a bit of a metaphor in some code aspects that we can make sense of now, right? The weed and the tars. 5% of our perception of this reality. Oh my gosh, such a small percentage. Just like we're using such a small percentage of our phone and computer, like it has so much more potential than we're aware of, but we just use it for, the basics that we all use it for. One with source. Momentum like the pendulum. Beautiful. Our thoughts have an effect 9 months down the line. Interesting that it's 9 months, right? Like how long we're in the womb for. The tars are half fallen angels and half humans or animals. The offspring are the Nephilim hermaphrodites born on this earth. Also, though, they're so drawn towards the Cabal. There's a reason. Okay, I watched a documentary recently. I've known about it for a while, but I was told to rewatch it. Called the Pharmacratic Inquisition. You can watch it on YouTube for free. It's about 2 hours. I don't like the first 50 minutes because it's very zeitgeist-like, that all religion come from the stars and the star constellations, and maybe that's true, but also people tend to name the stars. They gave the names to them, and that can be from their religious teachings. And so anyway, it's interesting because it talks about how all religions come from mushrooms, particularly the Amamiti muscaria mushroom, which is the red and white one that is famous in all of our kids shows, and even comes to mind for me is Super Mario Brothers, where you eat the red and white mushroom, or Alice in Wonderland eating mushrooms and all this kind of stuff. So that the apple in the Garden of Eden wasn't an apple, it was actually a Amamiti muscaria mushroom, because it looks just like an apple. That's also what Snow White was. She never was given an apple, she was given a mushroom. And that Amamiti muscaria mushroom is synonymous with having near-death experiences. And so it's like you die, but then your eyes are open and you see, you know, like the tree of good and evil, or of knowledge. And also interesting that our computers, Apple computers, are not actually apple, but mushroom, and has a bite mark in it. It's not like pristine, non-touched apple. It's a bitten one to indicate exactly that. And what's also fascinating about that documentary is it shows why the cabal is so obsessed with getting as much drugs inside of us as possible, injections inside of us as possible, and also why they're so obsessed with pushing the trans movement on us, and gender confusion and stuff like that. I don't want to go too much into it right now because this is, again, longer than I wanted it to be, and I'm really hungry. And I got a lot going on today. So let's see, I'm just going to make it through these comments, and I can just check out the documentary. I'll put the link in this video if you like. The tears are, okay, I read that. They look like us. Oh, thank you. We are here to bring balance. Yes, extremely important balance. I think you are beautiful, that you seek to help others. To do so is to serve the Great Spirit. Thank you. I am Amir. Thank you, Jessica, and have a good day. Love, your friend. Oh, okay, Tony, you're off for the night. I think it's night for you now. You're in England. What's the best way to DM you? So you can email me. Also, my website is all over my YouTube channel as well. It's Jessica, and my last name Schwab, S-C-H-A-B. Fortunately, sounds very similar to Klaus Schwab. It's actually pronounced Schwab. You have to hawk a phlegm. It's super hot. Or you can email me at jessicamystic.com. jessicamystic@gmail.com. Yes, my website also, you can message me there. And I have put up the Ringing Cedar PDFs there too, so for free for everybody. I forgot to mention that. I was going to say that. Open contact, White House. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if they did some big attack or something on a government building like Independence Day, where they just lasered up the White House just to like terrify people of hostile aliens. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did that. Is it true you can't travel outside of U.S. corporations without the vax? It was. I don't know if they're probably going to do that again. They're going to do a harsh lockdown, and with you can't do anything. Like in Canada, our stupid prime minister is saying you can't do anything or go anywhere if you haven't had it, and that all the other ones you had before don't count. So you're considered unjabbed. So you need to get the new ones, the latest and greatest ones, in order to do anything, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. Where there's a will, there's a way. I always found a way, and I know other people who found a way to travel without the jab. There's, if need be, if they come back hard on this, then there are things I can tell you guys about that you can use, that you can travel without getting it, as far as being a part of a control group. But I'll get into that next time. We made first contact back in 2011 and 12. That's amazing. Nice to... it's always a trip. I'm always amazed by how long we've known, I've connected with you guys for. Oh, okay. Oh, you're still there, Tony. Oh yeah, almost 9 p.m. for you. Yeah, I'm gonna head out now anyway, guys. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me, and I love you all, and thank you for you being you. We are the answer to our prayers. There are no limits, just beliefs, and warm embrace laced in grace. Bye.